finishing up, sweeping up over here, and I got my Himalaya crystal rocks all ready to come, and my Japanese towel over there, because that's the best kind of towel to clean your dojo. And so yesterday, like for me, when I clean, that's one thing I noticed, like I learned in Japan, is everybody wear house slippers. And you can get this at Daisho. They're so cute, so cheap. And so, you know, one thing is that when you have like your own sanctuary, a place where you can relax, and this is like my dojo. If I want to practice yoga, if I want to practice meditation, if I want to roll around and do some jiu-jitsu, hey, it's here. So everything that I have passion about and things that I know that's going to be very healthy for myself and for others. And so this is my little, I guess you can call it my dojo. So anyways, like I was saying, for what's going to happen from here on after, whether we have taken the shot or haven't taken the shot, I'm not here to discuss about that, because it's just been a very stressful situation for everyone with this pandemic. And you know, the thing is that I step back with that, and I can be very boisterous about what my thoughts are, what my feelings are. But the reason why they have a Privacy Act about medical health is because they want to keep it private. And so we should respect that and give them their boundary. You know, they know what they're up against if they haven't taken the shot or taken the shot. Who knows? But that's not the subject I'm here to talk about. I'm talking about more about staying healthy. And preventive care is something that we really need to be on top of. For example, today I was supposed to go down to my doctor out in town, and I got a call saying don't come in because there's too much, you know, people out by the hospital, you know, and the office is right next door. And so they said, we're all going to do this virtual instead of you coming down because it's just too much. And so you see, there is a real overload at the hospital where it affects like regular care, you know, care checkups and stuff like that. But luckily, I took my blood work test, because I kept on telling them that I need to get my blood work done. I need to get my blood work done. I don't want to do it afterwards. I want to do it now before, you know, going over there. And so it all kind of worked out, and my blood work came out great, and we went over all these things that we don't know. You know, we think we know our body. We think we know all this stuff, but your blood tells you a lot. Like for me, thank God all of it is, you know, but there are certain things that I need to be careful of because of my age, you know, and also what's going out right now. And so, you know, we have to think about our cholesterol intake. My kidney was great. The liver, remember we have two livers, so if one liver is not looking so good, let's see what we can do with preventative care, you know, because yes, hey, I may not be drinking, but back in the days, I used to suck them up, you know. And so those kind of things that will affect your body because, you know, it happens, and that's part of life. And so that's why I created this thing called Yogatation. And Yogatation is really about detoxing your whole entire mind, body, and soul. Because that's what we're going to really be doing is yoga. And that's a big misinterpretation of yoga sometimes, because there's so many poses of yoga that there is out there. But if you put it into a certain sequence and certain way of doing things to clear it all out, just like Bikram Yoga. Bikram Yoga, there is a sequel, 26 and 2, of breathing exercise and the actual poses, and that's when you go into, I mean, some people can do it and some people can't do it, hot yoga. And so, you know, some people who would test, because like for me, like yesterday, you know, we went all the way up to 140. It was so hot, but you know, the people I was doing with, nobody really knew it was 140 degrees. And so, you know, right now it's a good testing time for me and how people, you know, can do it. But like these people, we've been doing it for a very long time. So, you know, that's another story. That's like the extreme Gokudo, which means Gokudo really means like the extreme path where heat and everything else does not matter. It's just you. And that's when you come to a different level of consciousness. And so, oh, and by the way, I was telling my doctor about this dizziness. It could have been vertigo because that's also hereditary. So usually around when you get older, we tend to might have vertigo, you know, these vertigos that comes, and especially when we have hormonal changes, especially women who goes through menopause or pre and post menopause, and when you're in menopause and stuff like that. So all of these things happens. And so that's why I keep on saying preventive care is really, really good for everyone. You know, no matter what, there's no excuse now to really focus on that. So I came up with this, you know, Yogatation, which really focus and doing and hitting the 10 different points. And I can go on and explain about it, but hey, I'm going to soon be opening my classes where you can join me. And this is really a combination of breathing technique. And we're also going to be doing meditation as well as massage, you know, massaging thyself, like your foot. You know, your feet has all these little trigger points. And by hitting these trigger points, you open up certain meridian lines. And so we're going to be doing that. And we're going to also be exercising our lungs and putting antioxidant into it, where we really have this thing where it may sound weird, but we're going to be singing and chanting. Like, for example, and so like that, we can see how much breath we intake and how we can increase all of this thing inside of ourselves. And so that's another thing. And I don't know if you've seen her on Instagram, but in Japan it's very, very popular where we do facial yoga. And so that's another thing that we'll be doing. And we're also going to be doing some actual yoga. Not anything heavy, not anything intense, because if you want to do that, you can join with me on my other classes. But we're also going to do this thing where we also say a prayer. It's like, what? I say a prayer every day. But this is when you do it all together, this combination, it really, really change your mind. And when that happens, when you pray, you're going to pray more about things that you just gone through. And so, yes, we're going to be doing it out here in the Himalaya room. And the temperature, people's asking me, are you crazy? You're going to make it that hot? I'm not going to, I'm with that group. We're going to work together what is going to be the perfect temperature, because every single day and every single time it's going to be a different temperature. And so we're going to go with the flow of energy of what it is that day. And so yes, it's going to be a hot room, because we're going to be exactly looking at ourselves to focus and to concentrate and to meditate. Then when we're finished with that, with number 8, we guess what? We're going to be having a shot of my organic homemade kombucha. So that's going to be after class. You're going to be walking out there and enjoying that. And I also have my mint garden, so we're going to have fresh lemon mint shot as well too. So this combination, it wakes up the vagus nerve, because those are some of the 3 things that we're going to be working on, which is number 1, the V, the vagus nerve. The A, guess what? The Achilles heels, which is the true meaning is really your weak point, right? If you know and seeing that movie about how he died was through the Achilles heels. Because we think we don't have a weak point, but if we kind of sometimes forget about it or don't even pay attention about it, who knows? And so that's another thing that we're going to be working on. And the C part of it is your Chitta mind, which is like your monkey mind. It moves around, blah, 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 like what happened to me. I thought I was going to have this and that. And that's what a lot of people is right now just worried about, because our Chitta mind is just going to 40, and so we don't even take the time to detox ourselves, you know. And that's another thing. How we can avoid wrinkle is to stay hydrated. And every day, how you test is through your pee. Look at your pee color. I look at my pee. Every time I pee, I look at my pee. And that will tell you, okay, if it's yellow, if it's bright yellow, if it's semi-yellow, if it's white, you know, those kind of things you need to pay attention to. And that's how you know if you're hydrated. And if you're hydrated, guess what? You have nice, beautiful skin, and it won't start sagging down, especially when we get older. You know, after, I would say after 35, 40, we need to always stay hydrated to keep our skin, which is the largest organ of the body that acts like a third kidney, hydrated. And so after all of that, and if those that wants to, guess what? You can jump into the pool, relax, and get the full, whole, entire VAC. That's what it's called. And that's what I'm going to be working on, is your VAC. And VAC can also means like you're going to vacuum cleanse your whole entire mind, body, and soul. So your spirit can feel alive and awakened by doing these 10 steps that I'm going to be showing you guys how to do. And I was just talking to my webmaster and how I can have everyone who can come down, because we're going to have a limited space in my dojo for people to come and sign up. And so we're also going to be doing it live or online, so you guys can, at the comfort at your home, to do it and find a space, find your little dojo, and really make sure that you are just centered, focused, and just feeling that energy, because we're going to have so much fun. And these 10 steps that I put together like a melody, you know, it's going to help you detox, really vacuum clean your whole entire mind, body, and soul by doing this yogatation. So I can't wait to share with that once I am ready, set, and go to do that. But in the meantime, I will write what is all consist of, what we're going to be doing. And, you know, once we get this started, you're going to feel the huge change within yourself. And when you feel good, guess what? You're going to be more mindful. And being more mindful means you're going to be much more kinder of what our actions are in life. And so, can you imagine having that great energy, that great spirit, and knowing that we don't have that gut because we're going to be working on that? You see that? There's so many benefits in just really doing this yogatation and feeling good. And it's like, for me, I like to do it in the hot Himalaya room because it helps your blood circulation, detoxification, and it's like that energy of whoof, and it feels great. So stay tuned. We have more to come, and I gotta clean this place up before it gets darker. And you have a wonderful, wonderful week, and don't forget to stay hydrated as well as stay in good health. So self-care is part of being aware. So you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And most of all, aloha.